and the training will be starting here in just about 60 seconds, so get excited. This is my favorite GIF. I don't know how this guy is that excited, but I use him at the beginning of every single one of my presentations. I just have not found a GIF, or any person, in fact, in real life that is as excited as he is. So if you can get about half as excited as him, you should be good to go. So let's go ahead and jump into the training here. So today we're going to be going over the 5 steps to double your revenue in the next 90 days. My name is Gabriel Bryan, and I will be going over my bio here in just 1 second. But before we get into the training, I want to give you some quick notes. The first is you can adjust your screen size and volume in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, I am not sure exactly what type of device you're on, whether it's a mobile device, a Mac, or a PC, etc., etc. Android now has a bunch of OSs they're using as well. So I'm not exactly sure what device you're on. So our video player is different depending on which device you are on, but it should usually be in the bottom right. So you just tap down there, you can see the volume controls and the screen size control if you want to make it full screen. If you are on a mobile device, you should be able to slide your fingers together and apart on the screen or on your cell phone screen to adjust the size. It should work also on an iPad as well. Now, I normally give this presentation live or via webinar. I actually do this in person to small groups of coaching students. But I am recording this video because we get so many people who are unable to make the live trainings that I wanted to have a version of this presentation available to give to them. So that is what we are doing today. So obviously, I will not be able to answer your questions live because this is a recording, but no matter where you see this video, there's always going to be a question and chat box directly below it or somewhere on the page. Go ahead and enter any questions that you may have as you go through here. It will record the time and place of where you had the question in the video, and it will be sent to myself and my team, and somebody from my team, usually myself, but sometimes I'm too busy, so I have one of my staff do it, will respond and get your questions answered. If I'm bored or in a hurry, I may actually pull your phone number and just call you to answer your questions. I've done that a few times in the past, and it works out well, so you never know. You might get a free phone call from me. So go ahead and submit those questions, and I or someone on my team will definitely get back to you. Make sure that you have a notepad, pen, and the homework available. Depending on how you're watching this video, I actually give this training as part of a paid coaching course that I do. So if you're part of that coaching course, make sure you have your homework available. If you're just watching this video as not part of the homework, or excuse me, not part of the training course, then don't worry about the homework, but definitely have the notepad and pen available. Last, make sure you have a calculator handy. I'm going to be going over some different formulas and stuff like that. I don't know the ROI of your business, pricing of product, services, etc. You do, so I'll be able to show you where you can calculate that yourself. And if you stay until the end, I am going to give you a free bonus. It's actually a $500 or $497 is what we charge for it, advanced Facebook ads training. And this is a recording of a secret presentation I did on how we generate targeted buyer leads from Facebook for less than 5 cents per click. And if you have ever done paid advertising before for your business, you know that 5 cents per click for buyer targeted leads is insane. Now, as if you needed another incentive to stay, I'm also going to give you my 42 tips to optimize your website for more calls in 24 hours. This information has only previously been shared as part of my $2,000 coaching packages, those in-person coaching packages that I was talking about. But I will be giving away a secret link at the end of this webinar where you can download both for free. So before we jump in, I want to give you a quick pop quiz. How many businesses do you think survive past year 5? And I hear all sorts of responses to this. Normally, I will quiz the audience if it's in a live audience setting. But since this is a recording, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you 50% of small businesses fail in the first 5 years. And I'm sure you heard that 90% of businesses usually fail, or 95 or 98. A very depressing number, but that's actually not accurate because there are a lot of businesses that are designed to only go a year or two or to be bought out or to be sold, etc. And those count as actually failed in a lot of those statistics. So the accurate statistic is 50% of small businesses fail in the first 5 years. But guess what? Failure is 100% avoidable if you follow the steps I'm going to teach you in today's webinar. So what exactly are you going to learn today? First thing you're going to learn is why 99% of your competitors are targeting 1% of the market. The truth is they are just lazy. The 2 stages of lead generation are why marketing companies are lying to you. The simple 5-step value ladder, that can double your revenue in the next 90 days. I see this all the time. It doesn't matter what niche. I see it in small one-man shops to right up to tech corporations on an international scale selling $100,000 routers. So it doesn't matter what niche you're in. This 5-step value ladder will work for you. Next, I'm going to show you how you can create an evergreen marketing machine or funnel that generates new revenue while you sleep. This is very, very important to create a successful business. If you are not creating revenue, at least partially, automatically you will go out of business. And then in 6, I'm going to show you how you can get your own custom marketing plan designed for you for free. And then as that bonus that I mentioned earlier, I'm going to show you exactly how we are generating targeted leads for our clients at less than 5 cents per lead. This training is going to be broken down into 3 parts. Part 1, why businesses fail, because they lack the correct mindset about marketing. So my first promise to you is I'm going to show you exactly how to correct your marketing mindset to immediately start generating a positive ROI from your marketing dollars, no matter your niche. In part 2 of why businesses fail, they are unable to convert a lead to a customer. So my second promise to you is I'm going to show you the step-by-step method to convert any type of lead into a paying client, patient, or customer automatically. And then in part 3, why businesses fail, they are unable to generate automatic recurring revenue. So my third promise to you is I'm going to show you the step-by-step method to generate additional recurring revenue on demand or automatically every month with almost no extra effort on your part, no matter your niche. Now at the end of the webinar, I'm going to show you how to use what you are going to learn today to create an evergreen Facebook lead generation funnel that pays for itself, and I will give you access to a secret video I recorded showing how we easily generate these leads for less than 5 cents per targeted lead. I know I keep harping on this bonus, but I'm telling you it's very powerful and you will not see it anywhere else. So just copy what I'm going to show you and you can start getting results within hours. I normally only give this information away to my top clients, but if you make it until the end of the webinar, I will give you a secret link to get it for absolutely free. So before we jump into the training, who is this Gabriel Bryan guy? I'm an entrepreneur and investor, and including my own companies, so I invest in other companies as well as my own. So these marketing strategies I'm going to be teaching you today, I've actually been practicing for quite a while, over 13 years exactly. Actually, I think it's closer to 14, almost 15 years now. I need to update that part. But I've been doing this for quite a while, and I do it every day in my own companies and the companies of my clients. I've designed, built, and managed 100-plus marketing funnels from local service-based businesses to international technology companies, and those are only the ones that I can claim credit for. There are a lot more, but I was the ghost behind the curtain, so to speak, part of different teams, including some of which include millions of dollars of paid advertising per month. And it sounds like a lot of money, but it's actually not that much money. If you've got a large international company working with Facebook ads and especially Google AdWords, $1 million a month is nothing. I also work as an expert advisor consultant to advertising agencies for projects such as Super Bowl video ads and foreign language marketing campaigns. I don't only do campaigns in the US, I also do some in Europe as well as Asia now, because that's a big booming market. Myself and my clients have been seen in ABC, Forbes, NBC, Fox News, Newsweek, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Yahoo Entrepreneur, CBS, and that is just to name a few. Everything you are going to learn here today has been tested and proven countless times and is making other companies money right now, and I'm going to prove it to you. So part 1, why businesses fail. They lack the correct mindset about marketing. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to change your mindset. So mindset change number 1 is 99% of businesses are targeting only 1% of the market. So rationally, this makes sense because if you look at the average market, our target demographic, about 1 to 3% are ready to buy. About 70% are interested, and then you have the additional percentage that just really doesn't even care and they have no interest in your product or service whatsoever. The problem with this situation is most of your competitors, in fact, well over 98%, if we see on average, are targeting that 1 to 3% that are ready to buy right now with their marketing. So you have 98% of the businesses involved going after 1 to 3% of the ready-to-buy customers. And, I mean, who can blame them? These are the people that are ready to buy right now. They have an issue, they have an emergency, etc. They have a card in hand, they're ready to pay. The problem is they get overly saturated. Now, what most of these companies don't understand is that interested portion, which is over 70% on average of the target market, they are ready to buy, they just haven't been convinced yet. So this either is a trust factor, they haven't found the company they liked. Maybe they haven't been pushed far enough in the need for the product. They know they may view it as a want, not a need at this point. And with some careful marketing, you can push them to the need aspect of that. So basically what I want you to open your mind to is don't just think about the 1 to 3% in the ready to buy column. Start thinking about that 70% in the interested column, because I promise you they are much easier to convert to buyers than you think. And I'm going to actually show you how to do that. So mindset change number 2. So now that I've shown you the first step, which is changing your mindset about the 1 to 3% and the ready to buy and the interested, I want you to change your mind about marketing. So what I want to break it down is two stages of marketing. Now, most marketing companies will say there's only one stage. Let me back up a slide here. Most marketing companies will say there's only one stage, but there's actually two stages to marketing. Stage 1, which is the attraction stage, and stage 2, which is the conversion stage. Now, here is a huge hang-up I see a lot of people have. They see different marketing methods, which I will show you now, that are really just ways to attract customers as entire complete marketing methods. So the reason a lot of companies say Google AdWords doesn't work, or Yelp doesn't work, or I tried a TV ad and it failed miserably, is because marketers have this incredibly annoying habit of promising to you that if you go out and get some Google AdWords, or if you get a TV ad, or if you let them create a video for you, or if you let them write a direct marketing piece, you're going to get new customers. When in truth, that's only 50% of the process. See, what you're missing out on, you go to all that, spend all that money on Yelp or Yellow Pages or Google AdWords or a billboard, etc., is you're not optimizing your conversion stage, because all that does is bring people to either your company. If you have a store, they walk in your store, or most likely the first thing they do is visit your website. If your website isn't optimized, and I'm not talking about technology-wise here, it could look great. If it's not optimized for sales, and even worse, if it's not congruent with the message, your marketing message in the attraction stage, it's going to fail miserably. Also, your landing pages on your websites, if you're driving your Google AdWords right now to your homepage of your website, just turn it off. I'm telling you, you are wasting money. If you don't have landing pages set up for every single one of your Google ads, I promise you are wasting money, and I promise you even someone with basic marketing knowledge can come in and save you 60 to 100% guaranteed on your ad costs and increase your ROI by at least 30% within just a couple days. Use landing pages. I'm not going to get into it because I could preach all day about it, but use landing pages. Also, what's very important and most people overlook is what type of scripts are the people using who answer your phones. This is incredibly important. I see this more in the service-based industry, including also like chiropractors and dentists and stuff like that. But your front desk, the person who answers your phone, and this can also work for the tech companies too, we've done this, if they have a script to follow that's congruent with the advertising you used in your Google ads, or your Yelp or your billboard ad, if it's congruent with that, you will get money out of the person calling you much faster, I promise. So a big part of this, your marketing message should be writing scripts for the people who answer your phones. This should all be planned out. Your marketing should not just be Google Ads. It should be Google Ads. What happens next? They call in. Okay, great. Here's the script. What are they selling them on? And then what happens when they walk in the door? So you have somebody who will find you via Google Ad. They'll call in, set up an appointment. What happens when they walk in the door? How are they greeted? What are people saying? What type of script? What type of messaging do you have available? Do you have upsell pamphlets, advertisements, etc. around your office? Are you thinking about this? Because I promise you, you need it. That's going to increase conversions. It's not just on your website. Some fancy designer to make you a beautiful website is not going to get more sales. I have seen horribly ugly websites with great sales copy convert 1,000 times better than fancy modern websites. You don't just need fancy, you need something that'll convert. And finally, your email follow-up sequence. I'm going to go over this in a little bit, but you should absolutely have a planned email follow-up sequence, and I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a single-man plumber or if you are selling million-dollar computers. You need an email follow-up sequence for every single person who calls you or emails you, contacts you in any way, and is interested. Make sure you have that all set up. Now, at this point, you may feel a little bit like this. Wait, what's going on? And that's okay. Now, in the live training sessions where I normally do this, I will pause and I will answer questions from the audience. But this is a recording, so what I'm going to have you do is just enter your questions or comments in the chat box, chat question type box. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to look like because it'll depend on the page. But there will be some form of comment entry on this page. Go ahead and enter any questions you have so far right now in that box. I'm going to take a quick drink of water and come back. Okay. So again, go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Enter your questions or comments, and someone from my team will get back to you. We may even call you. Okay, so let's continue with the training. There we go. So part 2 of why businesses fail. They are unable to convert a lead to a customer, client, and or patient. So let's jump into it. So this is the 5-step value ladder. This is really the core of the marketing principles. I have learned a lot of different marketing methods over the years. And what I've found is if I apply this 5-step value ladder to them, no matter the niche, no matter the company, no matter how we choose to market, whether we're doing newspaper ads that lead to a phone call or we're using $1 million a month Google AdWords that lead to a contact form on a website. This value ladder converts the best. I promise you, if you pay attention, it is very simple in context. I promise I'm probably going to make it much more complicated than it needs to be, but the principle behind this, if you follow these steps, I guarantee you will see an increase in ROI. So the first step in the value ladder that every business, the 5-step value ladder that every business should have, is the freebie. Now, I know that most people, when they hear the word free, they cringe up and they go, oh, I don't want to offer anything for free. It degrades my business. It devalues my service, etc., etc., etc. And I promise you that all of those are true if you do it the wrong way. However, if you do it the right way, this is how you make it work. So your freebie should provide value at no cost in exchange for contact information, aka name, email, and phone number. If you can only get the name and email, or you can only get the name and phone number, or maybe you can only get the email or phone number, I promise you that is much more valuable than getting nothing at all. Now, here is the biggest thing that most people screw up on. Your freebie should solve one problem with one solution. Now, most people will solve one problem with 20 solutions, or they'll solve 10 problems with 50 solutions, or maybe they'll solve one problem and they'll use 50 pages of content or a whole bunch of different videos and stuff. It really should be super simple. It should solve one problem with one solution and should be very quick to solve that one solution. To solve that one problem. It needs to appeal to most, if not all, of that interested 70%. Remember, we're not going after the ready to buy. I promise you the needs of the ready to buy are going to be different than the interested. Because the interested, it's not a need, it's just a want right now. So you need to appeal not really to the emergency aspect of their situation. You need to appeal more to the trust side of them. So you're providing valuable information to get them to trust you, which will then lead through the value ladder, as we will see here in just a second. As I mentioned, it needs to provide value fast. 1 to 3 pages is the max I suggest for a PDF guide. So I'm going to give you some examples here in a second, but really if you fire up Microsoft Word, type up a quick one problem, one solution guide, save it as a PDF, put it on your website, and give it to people under their name and email. That's all you need to do. It's great. If you want to put it in video format, do a 2 to 5 minute video max. Now, this is the most important part of the freebie. Most people lose money on a freebie because it needs to have some sort of manual delivery. You want this delivered automatically. You want to write the PDF in advance, record the video in advance, and have it delivered automatically via email and or text is also very popular nowadays as well. So what are some examples of a good freebie? First example is the one food group that's shortening your life. This is great for health coaches. This can also be used for chiropractors, dentists, various different service-based businesses or consulting businesses around health. You want to keep it general. Remember, you want to appeal to most of that 70%. One secret to save 10% on your next home. I think we can kind of see who could use that. The biggest mistake people make when hiring a defense lawyer. One simple trick to unclog most common household drains. And the biggest lie they don't want you to know about chiropractors. So again, these titles can actually be repurposed for your business. The one X that's negatively affecting Y would be the kind of the layout of Title 1. One secret to save X% on your next purchase. You can change that to whatever you need. Let's say you're selling a router. Remember I was talking about those $1 million routers for TV. One secret to save 20% on your next router purchase. I mean, keep it super simple. Don't worry too much about this. Just make it straightforward. The biggest mistake people make when selecting a dentist, when finding a bagel shop. I mean, you can really do whatever you need to do there. Again, keep it simple. 1-to-1 ratio. And then the biggest lie they don't want you to know. The biggest mistake and the biggest lie, we actually see those convert very well across most markets. We'll just kind of change the title up a little bit. And then find one lie that people are told or one misconception, anything like that, and just have that as the guide. Because remember, the reason you want this to provide value fast and you want it to appeal to most of the audience is these people don't trust you. They really don't. And you are going to get at max maybe 2 minutes of their time, because what's going to happen is they're going to be poking around looking for something. If they're in a business environment, their boss is going to come in and yell at them, or an employee is going to have an emergency they're going to have to take care of. And if they are in their home, maybe looking, if you're a chiropractor or a dentist or a plumber or something like that, what's going to happen is they're going to be going through your website, and the kid is going to come in screaming, stepped on the dog, threw the cat out the window. Something happened. Something is going to get in the way, and because you are such a low value right now and a low trust factor, they need to get something from you quickly in order to start building that trust. So basically just make it quick, because remember, they're not going to have 30 minutes to read through whatever you're going through at this time, or whatever you end up writing if you write a 20-page guide. So keep it simple, 1 to 3 pages, 2 to 5 minutes on the video. Do that, you'll be great. All right, the next step in the 5-step value ladder is the irresistible offer. Now, the irresistible offer is pretty straightforward. It should provide additional value at a small cost. And by small cost, I mean between $5 to $28 is where we see best. And again, this doesn't matter what niche you're in, whether you're selling $1 million routers or you are selling plumbing services, or heck, we've even done this with small pastry shops before. I was making a joke about the bagel shop before, but we've actually worked with somebody who had a chain of bagel shops, and we implemented something to this. So it should cost $5 to $28. Now, the goal here is to change the mindset from freebie seeker to paying client, customer, or patient. We don't care about the money made in this step. Now, I'm going to show you what to do with this money or this revenue later on in the presentation, but we don't care, because if it could be a penny. If you want to charge 1 cent for your irresistible offer, great, because what you're doing, I call it the Groupon curse. So you always hear about businesses that provide a Groupon but never actually go anywhere with it. And the reason is the people who target Groupon, you can actually make a killing if you set up a Groupon right in this funnel. Your Groupon would basically be your irresistible offer at this point. But what happens is these businesses set up a Groupon, they lose tons of money, and they never actually monetize the audience that they build, because they never take the person to the next step. Because most of these people just want, basically in their mind, which is the freebie, in this case of the Groupon, the huge percentage off, they just want that, and they have no intention of actually continuing on with the business. So you have a ton of people who are very angry with Groupon, and you actually have businesses who shut down due to Groupon because they didn't have a funnel like this set up. So all we're doing here is we are taking them from the freebie seeker mindset, the Groupon mindset as I sometimes call it, to someone who has paid you money for value in return. Now, this is also very important. Your irresistible offer can't be something that's cost $9 on sale for $7. That doesn't work. It needs to have a perceived value of at least 3 times the asking price, or nobody's going to take you up on it. So really, it needs to cause you to be uncomfortable to offer it at this price. Those bullet points need to be reversed. I apologize. But it needs to cause you to be uncomfortable offering at this price. And I repeated that on purpose, because if you're not uncomfortable offering it as an irresistible offer, you're not going to get the results from it that you need. And I get a lot of people say, okay, Gabe, well, what do I offer? I guarantee that you're offering stuff right now for free that you can be charging for. Now, that's not going to cause you to be uncomfortable, technically speaking. It might be able to make you feel a little uncomfortable in the fact that you are now charging for stuff that you were offering for free. But free consultations are great to offer for $7. So our in-home consultation, I'm going to give you some examples here in a second, but our in-home consultation on saving you money with green light fixtures, etc., our environmentally friendly light fixtures, normally $500, yours for just $37 today if you take us up on it, that type of deal. And last, as I said, the bullet points are not in the correct order there, but it needs to be as automated as possible. Again, if you can provide this irresistible offer in some completely automated way, you're going to make a killing, and this is going to work great for you. So let me give you some examples of what an irresistible offer is. So let's go through 10 additional advanced tricks to solve problem addressed in freebie, only $5. This is really the best way to do it. So basically what you do is you write one guide. The easiest way to do this is write one guide, one trick, or one solution to solve one problem. And then as your irresistible offer, you would provide 10 additional tricks to solve 10 additional problems for only $5. And then this is where you get into the more information, because they're paying you for this information. And because they're doing that, they are going to expect more value, and in return, they're going to give you more time. So this is where you write the 20-page guide. This is where you write the 30-page guide if you want to do it. This is where you do the 15-minute video going over some trick or something like that. Another thing that works great here, and for a lot of you professionals out there, is free plus shipping. Get my book or product for free, just pay shipping and handling. Now, again, you are not going to fund your company based on the irresistible offer. But you're not going to go broke either. I don't want you to go broke. You shouldn't want you to go broke. You should at least break even on this. There is ways to actually make money on the irresistible offer. When I set it up for my clients, we always make a profit. And I'll show you the reason for that at the end of this presentation. But the free plus shipping is awesome, because if your book costs $4 and it costs $3.50 to ship, if you charge $8 or $9 for shipping and handling, quote unquote, you cover all of your fees, including shipping and the cost of the book. and the customer feels like they are getting an awesome deal. So if somebody's interested in your service, a great way to do this is you could even package up your 10 additional advanced tricks, ship it out as a physical book. That is awesome, by the way, and cover all your costs and get a few dollars back through the shipping and handling, quote unquote. The reason I love to do that is anytime you can slap something physical on somebody's desk, they can't delete it in their inbox, they can't put it into the trash can on their computer. It is physical, they have to deal with it, and it's front of mind. So if you can get something physical in their hands as the irresistible offer, and it's automated through some sort of shipping method, great. Do that over for example, because in the 10 additional advanced tricks, you can actually just send that to them via email, which I'm going to show you a little bit later on, but try and get physical with them if you can. Another great thing is the X-Minute consultation, normally $197 today, only $7. I mentioned this a few minutes ago, but this is a great way to do this with the consultation. If you're a lawyer or you're a plumber or you're a realtor or anything like that, if you're offering any sort of consultation for free, charge for that sucker. I don't care what your argument is, why you do it, charge for it. $7, $3, 99 cents, $1. If you want to charge for it and then say, I'll give it back to you on the day of the consultation, we've seen somebody do that who was uncomfortable for actually charging for it. Great. So they pay a $7 booking fee and you give it back to them on the day of if you want to. But I promise you $7 is nothing to most people. And in fact, it will make them respect you more. Another example could be a revenue evaluation plus income starter kit. This is a little more specific. I just kind of wanted to throw it in there. But revenue evaluation plus income starter kit, only $9. Just to give you some ideas. So let's go ahead and step 3 in the 5-step value ladder, which is your primary offer. Now, your primary offer should be a natural next step to your irresistible offer. Remember, your freebie and irresistible offer should have both been leading up to the primary offer. Now, this should not be the end of your funnel. And I'm going to show you 2 more steps, but you need to have other products and services ready to go. So this should really just be your most popular product. In fact, your primary offer should not be, in most cases, your most profitable product. It should be the one that is most popular with the 70% of people who are looking. Because remember, we want to set these first 3 up regardless of future profit. We want to set these up to be congruent with each other and the marketing. So it's easy to use the most popular product here. You can also use a service as well. So let's give some examples real quick. So as I mentioned, primary product or service, whatever you're selling right now. If you're a plumber, this would be plumbing services. If you're a chiropractor, this would be chiropractic services, etc. Just whatever it is. Consultation with value. We've actually gone into a lot of business and moved the freebie consultation back 2 steps to be the primary offer. So what people were charging $0 for before, we moved it back and charge $100 or $65 or $37, and that is the primary offer. The reason is the primary offer should lead into the rest of your services or products. Again, it's not the most it's not the most profitable, it's the most popular. So that's why we move the consultation back in a lot of cases, because it is very popular. We charge a bit more money for it, actually make some money off of it. And then from the consultation, that leads into actual chiropractic services, for example, or into teeth whitening, etc., etc. Another great thing here is you can actually skip all of your primary offers, all your product services, etc., and actually sell something from a partner. We've seen a lot of companies who want to charge more for their products and services, which is our goal when we go in and we say, hey, you know what, guys? Your products and services are so good that we shouldn't even be offering them in the first 3 steps. Let's move them back and let's have them as an upsell, and let's go ahead and use a partner or an affiliate product, etc., as your primary offer. So you can sell another person's product or service as your primary offer, still make a lot of money, and still not have to do a lot of work is the other part here. So again, it's hard to give examples for this because it's unique for each business. I would have to talk to you, and I will give you an opportunity to do that a little bit later on. Now, at this point, you could feel a little bit like Ron Burgundy. What did you say? And that's okay. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box now. Again, this is normally done live, and I answer them on the spot, but this is a chat box that's going to send the questions directly to me and my team, and somebody will get back to you, and we might even call you on the phone. So let's go ahead and get into the last part, which is part 3, why businesses fail. They are unable to generate automatic recurring revenue. So we've gone through the first 3 stages of the 5-step value ladder, and even if you just don't even pay attention to these last 2 stages, if you just add in a freebie and irresistible offer to your business, I guarantee you are going to produce spectacular results, and you are going to get much higher conversions on your primary offer, as I will show you here in a second. But let's assume that you're a rock star and you want to do everything possible to increase your revenue. So let's go ahead and talk about recurring revenue. So your recurring revenue offer should provide ongoing value and education. So this is not so much about service. This is providing ongoing value and education, quote unquote, because it's really just a way to provide a continuous way to promote additional products and service aka upsells. So remember what I was talking about earlier when I said the primary offer doesn't always have to be your most profitable product. It can be a secondary product. It can even be a partner's product. Your recurring revenue can actually come from your this is where you enter in your personal products and services, etc. Sorry, I was losing my train of thought there for some odd reason. Or it could be something completely automated. I'm going to show you a cool little trick to create curated content because, again, your recurring revenue should require little to no work on your part. If you're not, or if you already have your primary service as the primary offer, that's okay. Your recurring revenue can be something else. Or your recurring revenue can be ongoing appointments for chiropractic, dental, etc. Or it can be technical upsells on your router, as I was mentioning earlier. Now, it needs to have a recurring call to action, so you need to make sure that whatever recurring revenue you have includes some sort of marketing. A lot of people will set people up on plans for recurring revenue each month, whether it's a maintenance plan, etc., and have no marketing involved in any of it. You should have an email, phone, contact, something with that person at least 2 to 3 times per month, because I'm assuming you're charging them on a monthly basis, or if it's a biannually, etc. You should have multiple contact points in there to constantly be selling. ABC, always be closing. So let's go over some examples here. My favorite, and I don't care what niche you are in, is the paid newsletter membership and or coaching. Now, we usually charge between $5, $4.99 to $19.99 per month on average for this, and it's great. People love it, and we actually don't even have our clients actually write any of the content. We actually go out and get what's called curated content. As I mentioned up above, you just go out to the internet and find useful content and articles and simply put them into a organized format of some sort and email them out once a month. I'm telling you, it sounds crazy, but people will happily pay $5 to $20 a month to get all this curated content in one place and have it sent to them. So if you're an expert, for example, let's say you're a health coach and you put together a monthly newsletter with about 20 articles that you have handpicked that go over different maybe free exercises that people can do, some tips on food, etc., etc. You are the expert and people will pay you for that. We've actually, back to the $1 million router thing, we've actually set up a paid newsletter. It was more of a membership type of deal, but it was just information. It was curated information that was sent out $50 a month, and we put it as a VIP package, and people happily paid it. There was mid-level managers who loved the content that was being brought in just because they didn't have to go find it. So I love this example. I don't care who you are. You should have some sort of paid newsletter membership, etc. Don't have a free newsletter. Nobody reads those. Nobody takes anything from those. Your paid newsletter, though, people will be paying for it, so they will definitely read it. It's a great way to continue to market your business, by the way. Monthly package deal combining services and discounts from multiple businesses. I love to do this with all my clients. Obviously, you won't do this with a competitor, but there are tons of businesses that complement you. I guarantee it. You may not know of any right now, but if you were to hire us, that would be our job, is to go out and find those. But I guarantee there are businesses in your local area or in your niche or that complement your niche that you could happily package in deals, and they will give you massive discounts if you sell it as part of your services, because for them it's free advertising. You're going to sell the package, you'll give them a percentage of the cut. Your clients get a great deal. They get continued and additional revenue that they weren't initially planning on, and you get to actually take most of the revenue and profit, more importantly, off of this than normally would. It's a little bit more complicated to set up, but it still is very profitable. And the last one I'm going to mention is retainer-based, aka percentage off future services for X dollars per month. This is great. This works for really any niche. You can set this up as a repair. For example, let's say a driveway pavement company. I can't really think of the name right now. We actually work with one, which is hilarious, and I can't remember the proper way to talk about it. But what they do is we set up for them. Basically, I think it's $10 a month, and you get 5% off any future services. And the great way for them is almost nobody ever needs it, but they continue to pay the $5 a month. And they have well over 200 clients that are involved with that program. They're a pretty big company, so the numbers add up, trust me. So let's go ahead and step on the last step of the 5-step value ladder, and we call this the VIP offer. So your VIP offer should be designed for those with expendable income to feel important and special. It needs to provide more feel-good value, exclusivity, rather than actual value. And it needs to appeal to only 1 to 3% of your customers, patients, and or clients. So what are some examples of this? Small exclusive group retreats, events, coaching. I actually love this one. I set it up with basically all types of businesses. It works very well for coaches. And I kind of lump chiropractors and dentists, etc., into the coaching group because they technically speaking coach people on health and life, etc. You would be shocked how many people are bored. They have a lot of money, whether they have a great job, etc. They are bored and they are looking for something that makes them feel special. If you put on an exclusive retreat for 4 or 5 people and you charge a couple $1,000s per person, I guarantee there is a small percentage of your customer base or client base that will take you up on this. I talk to people all the time that say, Gabe, there is no way I'm going to be able to get people to come to an event where I charge $1,000, $2,000 per ticket, and I always shock them. It is hilarious. I actually bet people money. I'm not sure exactly how good it is when I'm betting clients money, but I always win because we find creative ways to do this, and I guarantee there is an angle. You just need to play it properly. High-ticket services products not available to the general public. If you are not offering a super high-ticket service that with a high profit margin for yourself, you need to find one. I'm not going to give examples because it really depends on the niche, etc. But make sure that you have some sort of high-ticket service or product that you don't advertise, but you do have available if you see somebody come in who has a lot of money to spend. And then finally, you can just give people access to people not available to the general public, like owner's personal phone number and email. We set up a couple of people with this, charge $300 a month, and you get the owner's personal phone number. And I think there's maybe one person who actually gets a couple calls every month from those people, but on average, most of those people never even get bothered. It's crazy. They go into it very nervous. They're like, well, I'm going to know my personal phone number. I'm afraid I'm going to get bothered, and they almost never do. People just like to really be able to brag about, hey, you know what I have? I have my dentist's personal cell phone number. That guy charges $150 a month to have the personal cell phone number for questions related to dental. I have no idea why anybody would need to call their dentist for questions. Obviously, there's the number for the emergency hotline, but it works, and it works very well. Oh, I forgot I actually had one more. This is kind of more niche. We do this with a lot of our chiropractors, but exclusive offer from other companies not available to the general public. So our favorite one for our chiropractors is actually they partner with a golf coach. And so obviously the people who golf, and if you golf, you will probably know this offhand, but there's a lot of money involved in golf. And so going into a $1,500 weekend, pay $1,500 for a weekend retreat where your chiropractor comes down and gives you a golf-specific chiropractic session. And then also there is a person who will train you on advanced golf techniques. We do this all day long. The golf coaches love it. They give huge discounts. And they actually, I don't know why they don't do this themselves, but the chiropractor actually ends up taking home most of the money because it's the chiropractor's patients who come to this retreat, which is pretty cool. So hopefully that gives you some ideas for the VIP offer. But if you feel like this, Mark Wahlberg in his natural state, not a huge fan of him as an actor. That's okay. Enter your questions or comments in the chat box now. Any questions or comments I miss will be addressed via email. That's a comment related for the live presentation. Obviously, we're not live, so I'm going to miss all of your comments and questions right now. But I promise I will respond to them as soon as I get them. Now, would you like to see an example? Enter yes in the chat box now. Now, again, this is designed for a live presentation, so I apologize. If you go ahead and enter yes in the chat box, though, I'd love to know you guys are engaged out there watching this video. So enter yes, enter your phone number, and I may just randomly call you and answer a few of your questions on the phone as a reward for being involved. But let's go ahead and show you this. So this is my favorite part of the presentation. I'm going to show you how to use this 5-step value ladder to destroy your competition. There's one concept that I want you to grasp from this, and I'm going to walk you through a couple different things before I show the concept to you so it makes more sense. But there is one concept that if you grasp it, and you grasp it well, and you implement it with this 5-step value ladder, you can destroy every single one of your competitors overnight, and I'm not kidding. I don't feel good about this. It doesn't, make me feel like a great person, but it is business, not personal. And so when we implement this for a client and businesses fall off, so to speak, the best business wins in the end. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first concept I want you to get is you need to break down the 5-step value ladder into 2 different parts. The first part, aka freebie, irresistible offer, and primary offer, is going to pay for your advertising expenses, salary, rent, etc. Your profit, aka what you take home extra at the end of the month, bonuses, etc., is going to come from recurring revenue and VIP offers. So let's do an example. We're going to send 1,000 visitors to your freebie at $1.20 per click, which is actually really expensive. If you're paying $1.20 per click, you need to talk to us because we can get that a lot cheaper. I don't care what niche you're in. That's still too expensive. So it works out to about $1,200 in advertising costs. And remember that number. It's going to come up later. So let's say that the freebie converts at 50%. If you're paying attention to the screen, you'll see the numbers pop up. So your freebie converts at 50%. So this means that 500 people are added to your email list. So remember, these people come to your website. They see a banner ad, for example, that says, click here for the 1 secret to solve problem X. They're going to click on it. They're going to be asked for their name and email. They enter their name and email, and then they're given your freebie PDF guide or video, depending on what it is. Now, let's say that the irresistible offer that you have set up, which in this case, let's say is an advanced PDF guide that shows, 10 additional tricks, converts at 40%, which means that 200 of those 500 people purchase at $7, which equals out to $1,400. Now, if you're playing along at home, which obviously you are because you're watching this video, you will have hopefully made a connection between the $1,400 and another dollar figure on the page. But we'll come back to that in a second. I'll leave it hanging out there. So let's say that your primary offer converts to 60%, which means that of those 200 people who purchased your irresistible offer, because remember, anybody who got your freebie, they haven't been shown your primary offer yet. If they don't purchase your irresistible offer, we don't even show them the primary offer. It helps with conversions, and it keeps things congruent. So that means your total revenue is $9,200 from just the freebie, irresistible, and primary offer. And $65 is kind of an average. We have a lot of different clients, so it's hard to pick a single number for that. But we're saying the primary offer sells at $65, whether it's a service, etc. Now, for those of you who were paying attention, you will have made a connection between the $1,200 in advertising costs and the $1,400 you made from the irresistible offer. What you just did is by adding 2 completely automated sources, one free and one for a small cost of $7, you just paid for your advertising, which means that you added 500 people to your email list for free. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. That is extremely powerful. You just added 500 people to your marketing list for free. Now, most of you I know watching this video, most business owners, take no advantage of their email list, which means this will be worthless to you. But if you write a couple of emails that sell your primary offer, irresistible offer, or some sort of product, you will make money from that 500 people. I promise you. And these are very average numbers. Let me say that. When we do this, our numbers are much better, and you should as well. So now let's jump into the second stage, which is the recurring revenue and the VIP. So let's say that your recurring revenue, 48 purchase, so 40% conversion rate. So remember, the 120 people purchased your primary offer. So those 120 people are offered your recurring revenue offer of $9.99. We're going with the the paid newsletter. So we're saying you charge $10 a month for your paid newsletter. So 48 people purchase at $9.99. That equals $479.52 per month. Remember, that's automated income. It's curated content, so you don't have to do any extra work. You can have your assistant knock that out for all it's worth. Then let's say your VIP converts at 5%. So 5% of those 48 purchase your VIP offer of $9.97, which is 2. So 2 people purchase the $9.97 group retreat. So you and 2 of your favorite clients go on a weekend retreat together to God only knows where. But you make $2,000 cash from that. So your total profit is $2,473.52. So let's kind of put all those numbers together here. So your total revenue was $9,200. And we're not even counting, by the way, the profit. So this is just from stages 1, 2, and 3, or steps 1, 2, and 3. So we're not even counting the recurring revenue and the VIP. Just your revenue from the front stage was $9,200. Your revenue per click was $9.20. So that means every person who clicked on your ad earned you $9.20. Now your ad spend was $1,200, so your total profit for this entire campaign was $8,000. So you went out, added 500 people to your email list, and you made $8,000. Now a lot of you may be going, "Oh, that's a little unreasonable, Gabe. We can't actually do that." Yes, you can. I promise. I don't care what niche you're in. If your funnel is properly optimized and you have a good offer, a good freebie and a good irresistible offer and a good primary product offering, I guarantee these numbers are tiny compared to what you can make. But let's look, just for giggle's sake, let's look at a competitor that you may have without a funnel. So if they don't have a funnel, all they're doing is they're selling their primary offer, and because they haven't done any pre-selling, they're only going to convert 30 of those 500 people to purchase at $65. Because remember, the average ready to buy right now is about 3 to 5%. I usually see 1 to 3%, depending on most niches, but we're going to say 3%. Purchase at $65, which is $1,950 in revenue. So your revenue per click is $1.95. Okay? Now, I want you to pay very careful attention to the revenue per click of your funnel versus the revenue per click of your competitor's funnel. You see the difference there? $9.20 versus $1.95. So here is the thing that I want you to grasp from this presentation right here. If you want to put your competitors out of business overnight, the good ones, the ones that are actually doing marketing, paying for marketing, all you have to do now is go out and outspend them in the paid advertising market. You know your numbers. So what we do, if we want to go in and completely just take over a market, is we will create multiple landing pages, multiple websites, buy out all the paid advertising because we can afford to pay more per click. We crank up the ad click cost. We're still making a profit, and your competitors simply can't compete because they can't afford the cost per click. Again, I'm just going to pause there because this right here, this is all you need to know to completely take over a market. This is all we do. When we go in and we work with a new client, we set up this 5-step value ladder. We optimize our revenue per click, we optimize our ad spend, we optimize our freebie and irresistible offer, make sure they're all clicking, and we simply outbid everyone else for first page ad results and second page ad results and third page ad results, and they can't compete because they can't afford the cost per click any longer, and they stop generating new revenue. This is it right here. Revenue per click. I'm telling you, it is the most important thing ever. So hopefully you grasp this. Hopefully this concept makes sense to you, and hopefully you will take this and blow up your business. So let me ask you a question. During this training, I've shown you a lot of really great information, but let's be honest, this webinar has probably been a little like this. Look at that corgi trying to catch all that water. So probably a little bit overwhelming, right? So that's okay. For those of you who feel like that, would you like to learn how you can get me to design a custom 5-step value ladder specifically for your business for free? If so, enter yes in the chat box now. Again, this is normally designed for a live audience. So if you enter yes in the chat box, I'm going to show you regardless, but if you enter yes in the chat box now, I might just randomly call you on the phone to answer any of your questions as a reward for being involved. So if you would like me to design a custom 5-step value ladder for your business for free, go to the link below now, and that's GabrielBryan.com/5S. GabrielBryan.com/5S. So what will you get during this free 5-step value ladder build out, as I like to call it? Well, here's how it works. So you're going to visit the link below where you will fill out a short questionnaire. Before our meeting, my team and I will analyze your target market, spy on your competitors, and rip apart your current sales funnel because we want to get to know your business and what your competitors are doing. Then you and I will meet using an online meeting system so you can view my screen while I create your customized 5-step value ladder in real time. As I mentioned, the value ladder isn't complicated. It's really knowing what to plug in, what to remove, and how to set it up properly that is the hard part. It can actually be done fairly quickly, and I'm going to do it live in front of you. Once completed, you will get the process map and blueprint I create for you. This means you can implement your new marketing funnel instantly. Now, I only do 5 of these sessions per month, so secure your spot now, and I'm not joking about this. Obviously, this is a recording, so a lot of people see this. And normally I charge for this. So I only do 5 of these sessions per month, and I do charge for most of them because I do this presentation in person and stuff like that. So we have a set amount of free ones. Really, if you book the free ones before the paid ones, we don't really value one over the other in the selection process. So if you go to 5S or GabrielBryan.com/5S and you fill out the form, before somebody who's filling out the paid version of the form, you will lock in the spot and they will be pushed to next month. So make sure to do that now. So as I mentioned, this is extremely limited offer. Like I said, I normally charge $500 or $497 for this same consulting session, but because you are on this training live now, you can get it for free if you take action. This isn't some upsell. I'm serious about this. So GabrielBryan.com/5S. It's free, and I guarantee it's going to help your business. It's an absolutely no-brainer. Now, while we wait for more questions to come in, would you like me to show you a quick example of how to set up an evergreen funnel on Facebook that will generate you leads on complete autopilot? If so, enter yes in the chat box now. Now, I'm going to assume that you're entering yes in the chat box now because who wouldn't want to see this? Again, if you enter yes, anybody who enters yes in the chat box, I will randomly select one of you and give you a call. Actually, probably randomly select a few of you because more people watch this as it goes through. So how to build an evergreen funnel that generates revenue automatically using nothing but a freebie and an irresistible offer. So I'm going to give you a little situation. So let's say that we set up an ad for your freebie on Facebook, which we do for every single one of our clients, including the $1 million router people. So let's say that your target sees the ad on Facebook. They click the ad, which means they are taken to a page where it's asked them to fill out the form, which asks for their name, email, and phone number in order to get the freebie. As soon as they fill out that form, they're redirected to a landing page that offers them the irresistible upsell. So at this point, they're going to be offered a irresistible offer, somewhere between the cost of $5 to $28. It's usually on average. If you have a higher end product like the $1 million router, you might be able to get away with a couple $100 irresistible offer. But again, quick off the cuff purchase, $5 to $28 is great. Remember, it's really not the amount of money that you're charging here. It's the principle behind them, giving you some monetary action. So even if they gave you a penny for your irresistible offer, it's still changing the mindset from freebie seeker to, okay, this guy has value, I'm giving him money. So let's say for argument's sake that the target says no. Let's say they say, you know what, I don't want to buy the irresistible offer right now. Take me to the freebie offer that I signed up for. So we give them access to the freebie on the next page, and via email, we automatically follow up with them using a 7-day email sequence, which works out to 1 per day. Remember, that email follow-up, super powerful. This is the sequence we like to use. So on day 1, value. Day 2, value. So you're not selling at all. All you're doing is providing additional content. Day 3, go ahead and sell that irresistible offer again. Day 4, provide some more value. Day 5, provide some more value. Day 6, go ahead and sell the irresistible offer. And then on day 7, go all out. Every trick you can think of, hard sell that irresistible offer, because guess what? After day 7, you're probably not going to follow up with them again, because if they have received 7 days of emails from you with great additional value, they will purchase the irresistible offer if it is properly set up. Now, if you create an irresistible offer that is not a good sell to the target market that you have, I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. You need to fix the irresistible offer. That's your fault, not theirs. So basically, if you send all these people through the follow-up email sequence, which is a 7-day follow-up email sequence, and they don't buy, it's your fault, not theirs. Just remember that. So let's say that they finally go, you know what, this is good, I want to buy. They go back to the irresistible offer page from the link in the email, and they buy. So let's say the target says yes. So they are delivered to a landing page where they get the freebie and irresistible offer, because remember, we want to make sure to offer them the freebie, which they did sign up for, and give them the irresistible offer, which they paid for on this page. And you're also going to send them the link via email. Now, here is where the magic happens. Revenue from the irresistible offer funds the advertising, creating an evergreen marketing funnel. So basically what we do when we set this up is we have all the funds, we use a payment processor, go right into the account that we use for the Facebook ads. So basically you can turn this on and never, ever, ever have to worry about it. As long as your conversions are there and things are clicking along, the funds are automatically deposited in the account. Facebook pulls the funds from those, and your ad continues on forever, which sounds a little scary when I say it like that. But it's great. Now, again, this does take a lot of work, and you have a choice. You can try and design and customize this funnel yourself, or you can have me do it for free. GabrielBryan.com/5S. Again, that's GabrielBryan.com/5S. Now, at this point, I'm just going to show you all the features again here. So again, we're going to go through, myself and my team will go through, spy on your target market, spy on your competitors, and rip apart any sales funnel that your competitors are currently using. Unfortunately, most competitors don't have a sales funnel, which gives you an automatic step up, but they never do. They might have one. Then we'll meet online, go through everything, and I will create it real time in front of you. So again, that link is GabrielBryan.com/5S. Now, time for that bonus I mentioned before. If you want that case study where I show you exactly how to get the Facebook leads for less than 5 cents, go to GabrielBryan.com/05, and you can either use a 0 or a 5 there, doesn't matter. 05 training. So that's GabrielBryan.com/05 training. Now, at this point, you're going to feel possibly like this. Lots of questions. That's okay. Enter your questions or comments in the chat box now, and I will give you a call back or send you an email, or someone from my team will reach out to you. Now, you could feel like this, too. You could say, you know what, I get it. If so, go to the URL below, GabrielBryan.com/5S, and sign up for that consultation. Now, if you are confused at this point and you don't quite understand everything, don't sign up for the consultation yet. And the reason I say that is I want to make sure that we answer any questions and you go into it understanding fully what's going on. The people that sign up for the consultation, I want to make sure that they get it, because then we don't have to waste each other's time. This isn't really a question and answer period. This is more for, okay, you got it, I want to get this done. Let's rock and roll. Not trying to exclude you, but enter your questions as soon as I answer them, then, and it makes sense, then go to the link and sign up. And if you fill out the question box and ask a question, and then you go to GabrielBryan.com/5S and all the spots are taken for the month, contact me and I will hook you up. So don't worry, you won't lose out. I do want you to ask your questions and get those taken care of before you sign up for the consultation. And I am out. That's the entire presentation. I hope this was helpful. It's a little bit weird for me to do this without a live audience, so I apologize if it's a little awkward through there, because I'm used to feedback and live interaction and stuff like that. But if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and enter them in the box below. And if you are ready, if everything makes sense, if you don't have any questions, go ahead and go to GabrielBryan.com/5S and sign up for that free strategy session. And me and you will get on the phone and online through my computer screen, which I will show you as I fill out everything. And we will get this rocking and rolling and get you extra additional revenue. I'm excited. I have never had this fail for any company I have ever worked with. I know that's a big claim, and if you don't believe me, let me prove it to you. Go to GabrielBryan.com/5S and we'll get this going. My name is Gabriel Bryan, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.